from Echo HQ. Cenote and Zipline Mafia, they also have a console, so they'll be able to head in pretty quickly in towards where that zone's going to be. Sentinels, we heard from Mon saying they like to play the center POIs. Well, they're playing exactly that here from Jurassic. They should have good prior to this zone as well.
Yeah, according to Monsoon, we should see a few more points being scored by Sentinels, to be completely honest. As now they should be able to play their more zone-focused style and push themselves through perhaps a little bit higher on those leaderboards.
As always, a little bit of an extermination crew starting off here as the Spiders will meet their demise as Elite Esports, who are currently up in second place after a win a little bit earlier on. Continuing the good form that we've seen from some of the EMEA squads so far in the group stages, but that's certainly something that we've said before things turn a little bit more sour towards the end of the tournament. Speaking of the Pirates, here they are on your screen right now. Charge rifle in the hands of Nate up on the high ground. Interesting to see a Pathfinder pick, actually, pretty early on in this set here. The only team I can see in the lobby currently running it.
Yeah, and they are in last, so take that from what you can. But it's interesting, again, it's the discussion of, you know, trying to pick something that is not going to be banned. That being said, the Gibraltar is going to be taken away from them. As now we check in with VKG, our previous winners from EWC, and actually both of our previous winners, in theory, Alliance and VKG, both struggling a little bit in this lobby. But we did see in the previous set, Stormpoint completely changed things and the route and the path for a lot of these teams.
Interesting to see the uptick in Mastiff usage as well when the Gibraltar comes into play. Of course, you've got that new hop-up on it as well, so if you get a knock, you're going to get a little bit of your health back and you're going to be able to re-engage in those fights. And when you're dancing around a bubble on Gibraltar, it's the perfect hop-up to use to get the most damage out while staying healthy yourself. TL are going to play the high ground here, you can see. This is where they've chosen to play from. This almost guarantees them at least the top 10 spots should the zone start to pull their way down to the southern side of Barometer like it looks like it will. But they're going to have to do it with white armor. And I think the fact that there was no Evo near them has also influenced this choice down. Playing up on the high ground, being able to pepper damage out, it guarantees them being able to get blue without really taking any risks and really putting themselves at a disadvantage.
It's whether anyone's brave enough to try and take that position away from them as well. That's where you've got to be mindful of, and why. Like you say, you have to be building up those shields so you can retreat back and take those fights. Speaking of fights happening, Team Vision and Elite at the moment posturing up against each other. It does look like this is going to happen as well. Good shots from Zach.
Yeah, kind of going to have his shields ripped away. Zach will get the finish though. That's kind of down. That should be the control of the fight completely going the way of Vision. It will be the elimination of Elite Esports as the first team out of the lobby here, but they've got to be careful because SAUL are still looking at this, but the fact they stayed so healthy during that fight, Vision, means they will be able to reset here. Everybody should be safe. Everybody should be sound.
It is funny how sharks in the water, people are there like, oh, was there any knocks? Can we get anything out of this?
Sniff.
Just having a look, but no, not even a whiff of a knock. So Team Vision very successfully winning that engagement. As again, we just check back in with Liquid. No one contesting them on height at the moment, but they are still slowly building, and they do have fallback options as well. If things do go south, you can always retreat into the center of this building. But at the moment, it's just about a lot of damage output, really, and making yourself big. It's actually, Blinkster had gone down, but it looks like Sentinels are not going to be in trouble. There's not going to be an attempt to push.
Yeah, Sentinels just playing the bottom of the building. Team Liquid above them on the height. Sentinels, again, prioritizing that quick rotation. You can not only tell that by the positioning and the fact that they're in one of the prio positions, but the fact they're still on white armor as well. They really haven't had a chance to path to any Evo to output too much damage. The difference between their position and the one from Team Liquid is line of sight. Team Liquid have so many teams who are going to be rotating in they can pick away at. It's going to be difficult to get that damage up. The Sentinels down on the low ground until a little bit later in the game, but if they get sniffed out on white armor towards the end of the game, they're going to be taken down very comfortably.
So I'm going to say something quite controversial, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that disagree with me. Prepare yourself, sit down.
Go on.
I still don't think Alliance have really performed since the change of Effect into Aku. And when it first happened, I questioned it a little bit. I said, can Aku live up to what Effect was able to lay down? And I still haven't seen it. And I hope I do see it for Alliance fans' sake and for Aku's sake. But it's been a quiet start to them. We'll have to see whether they can ramp things up as they go in.
Where is Huge? It's a good question. And one that I'll leave to someone else to answer. RRQ are going to be in first place at the moment. And they're right at the southern tip of Barometer. So if the zone does pull down to the south, they're in one of the only buildings that will be safe. We'll have to see on the zone close if it's going to be safe for that next zone. And if it is, the first place team are in a fantastic position, potentially for this endgame.
Does pull down a little bit further south, not quite where RRQ are setting up. So they will have to move and adjust ever so slightly, especially moving towards the eastern side. Reject down on that fast southern tip, they'll be okay. And even VK Gaming on the northern building, they're going to be absolutely fine for now. But you'd imagine it would continue to pull south from this point. That being said, I have seen crazier things happen. There's still about 8 teams outside of this circle, so expect a few more fights on the edge here of these teams that are looking for some points here or there.
Yeah, teams also looking to get up to purple as well, not just because of the Valkyrie purple perk to get to the skies quicker when they do have to Valk ult a little bit later in the game, but also the importance of the triple bombardment on the purple perk of Gibraltar. So devastating in those fights towards the end game where you really can just zone out not just one, but 2 or 3 different teams to try and stay alive. Speaking of purple, Alliance, they've got there. Unlucky, Hackis and Aku are going to have all their perks picked. They're going to be ready to fight here as they work their way in towards zone. A long way to go for them, though.
Well, I do want to follow up as well. I do still think Alliance one of the best teams in the world. I just think it speaks volumes about how good Effect was. And really, as an individual, what he adds. And I mentioned it earlier, when you have that player who can just turn around and destroy a team in a 1v3, Effect was that kind of guy for them. And Unlucky has done very well at filling those boots himself, but also Aku stepping up to that plate as he grows as a player too.
Here's Dinos on your screen, and they've got a long way to go. You can see they're at Pylon at the moment. Team Vision are trying to hold them out. That's going to be one member of Team Vision up on that high ground, just watching their wrap. It's going to be Lota who's going to be able to do so pretty comfortably as well on Axel. He's going to be able to throw down that Nitro gauge should he need to, just to scarper back to the closest of his teammates should Dinos decide to push. And it looks like Dinos might be actually walking up on him, so Lota's going to be very, very careful here that he doesn't get 3-2-1'd, all 3 guns firing onto him, and he finds himself, unfortunately, falling down.
Vision made me laugh, by the way. I was chatting to Zach Mazer, and it's almost like he's their stepdad. Like, he's just that, he kind of looks after them. He's like, man, I've got these great kids that come in, they just play some video games, they're incredible, they listen. And Zach has grown as an IGL as well. It's just so funny to hear the kind of relationship that they have and the dynamic on that team.
He left out some of that conversation, and this is for not only your benefit, but Team Vision's as well. Private. Let's leave it like that. Well, Neo on your screen right now. They're in zone pretty comfortably right now. They got the Watson in the composition as well, so they're not going to be moving for quite some time. Just interested to see where the zone actually pulls after this one. That's the big one. I think it might be going down towards the likes of Reject. Also Liquid, the good zone read here, but here comes Team Alliance. Falling from the skies. Hackis goes down, and that's the Gibraltar down as well. But Unlucky will be able to drag his teammate and his IGL back to his feet. They will be safe here.
You've got to be ready as a Newcastle. You have to be instantly on that res.
Let's check this quadrant.
Otherwise, you just give that option for someone to pick them off. You know, a charge rifle or a longbow, and then suddenly you're looking at hoping to go for a deathbox res. But Alliance will survive, and it's just, at the moment, it's just knocks from distance, everyone just having a little bit of a poke off. No one at any real threat. There's a lot of these teams on the edge at the moment just looking to hold out. Now, Mythic Bin has spawned on the north, and Enter Force 36 and Zipline Mafia are kind of posturing up against each other as well. Maybe going to contest each other for this one.
They might have a poke off around the Mythic Bin that's spawning. I like that term. I'm going to use that a lot more.
Are you making fun of me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm offended you had to ask that question. Well, Zipline Mafia, who went on a historic run, by the way, winning the EMEA Regional Finals to qualify, going into EMEA Regional Finals to qualify for Split 1 playoffs here at EWC, they basically had to win the thing, and they went and did exactly that in match point. So a fantastic story up to now, but when you get to the dance, you want to make the most of it. And Zipline Mafia have certainly got some work to do, but with how close the lobby is, one big game here for any team could really solidify your place in those leaderboards. Look at where the zone's going, though. It is pulling out towards Dogred on that building. Liquid will be safe up on that high ground, I think, for a little bit longer, and we'll be able to actually look to play that roof a little bit later in the game, too, should they wish to.
Hell of a call from Team Vision as well, to be able to play on that southeastern side. That's a typical Zach Mazer position, it feels. They gamble on them. When they are late, they like to go for something that's a little bit off and could be different, and if it does pull, it's a big advantage to them. Is SAUL actually going to drop in a similar position?
Interesting zone, kind of comparable to what we actually saw earlier when we went down to Dev Coast to see the zone where, you know, playable spots there are, but they're broken. It was helped out by the fact that it was a game number 4, that the fact that the Gibraltar, the Newcastle was still available. A very similar situation here with the zone that we see. Not a lot of natural cover, but a lot of utility in the legend compositions, which is going to help these teams survive towards the end game. If this is a game 5, game 6, even a game 1 or 2, you're probably seeing the lobby down to 7 or 8 teams as the zone goes into that final ring. But in this, you could see a lot more just due to the utility that is available for teams as RRQ make their move a little bit closer to the zone here.
More knocks in the kill feed, but still just from distance, but this one is not. This has been a fight that's been extended for quite some time, as now Dinos have lost one.
Zach loses his shields, but stays on his feet. J Future has to take a second here to play behind the knockdown. His teammate DJ Killer's going to hold that door. There's lots of fences around as well. You've got to be so careful where you step. You don't want to get stunned and find yourself in a position where you're so vulnerable to a 1v1. It looks like Vision have managed to get the res as well. It's a 2v3. Although now it becomes a 3v3 again, as Dinos will get the full reset.
Yeah, both teams back off, both teams get the res, as now Zipline Mafia have just arrived to the party. That puts a lot of pressure on the team on the outside here. So Dinos have to be careful, because remember, Vision were inside. They have protection from this.
Dinos have managed to climb all the way up to the high ground. A couple of Valk missiles coming their way. That's going to force the bub. DJ Killer's trying his best to get his claws onto the top of that egg just to climb up to join his 2 teammates, but with the bubble being burnt, that makes it a little bit more difficult for them to survive if they take this fight. Anyway, looks like it's going to be happening right now, and it's going to be Dinos who get that first initial damage.
Initial damage, you do follow up. Yes, you do. You've got to get rid of the fences, though, and you will, and it's going to be 2 going in their favor, and it looks like Vision are falling apart here. Can you escape, maybe? No, you cannot. Vision eliminated in 19th. Now, will we see Zipline Mafia re-engage? It looks like no. They are happy to be trolls under the bridge right now. By the way, all the meanwhile, Alliance have been able to get kind of north of Dinos, holding this eastern side, because they were able to just fly in for free, walk in for free, it feels like.
Yeah, Alliance just Valkyrie over the entirety of the lobby, played that spider choke, and now we'll have a pretty good walk into where this zone is going to be going. Remember, they are on Baby Comp as well, so they have Newcastle and Gibraltar available to help them hold down that spot, increase their survivability chances as that endgame starts to take place. Everyone else who's on the western side of this zone has to go through each other. That's where the lobby will start to cut itself down, as Zipline Mafia, as we see on our screen, still hold that bridge position.
Yeah, a lot of the teams on the east have a chance to pick up some big points, as now VKG down to just 1, but the res is happening, and they have been able to find a trade of their own. They're kind of backed into a room at the moment of EKG, and they only have 23 seconds to try and win out this fight and actually plan where they're going to move. It's always frustrating when you're this close to ring closing in. Someone engages with you, and it just takes away that opportunity to plan and talk about where you're going to go.
I mean, so many teams are still outside of this zone, and it's starting to close in 10 seconds time. The problem is, nobody knows where to go. 2 teams who don't know where to go right now are staring straight into each other's eyes. That's going to be Alliance. The queue lasts a little bit longer for them. They get that initial damage, and it's down to J Future on the Gibraltar to try and clutch here. Alliance will go down thanks to the lobby, and it looks like Dinos will survive.
Yeah, that was Zipline Mafia from under the bridge, is now enter Force 36. They see their opportunity, and they will enter as a full 3 here. Dino, sadly, they will be able to toss some left behind remnants, but E36 will pick up this position as now Team Nemesis decide this could be a chance for them.
Everyone dropping from the skies from the Valkyries, just looking to find somewhere to play. Just as going to be able to get the castle wall down, and changes to that massive to try and ward off the pressure coming in from Nemesis. Team Liquid still inside a zone though, still up on that high ground, and still able to take advantage of so many teams who are going to be falling into the open. Neo will be eliminated from the lobby next. 15 squads now remain.
Team Liquid now taking a little bit of ring damage. They have to move to the other side. Remember, Sentinels are below them as well, as Nemesis now have the castle wall out. Reject have been taken down. Pirates are eliminated as well. It's 13 squads as Nemesis are under pressure.
Sacred with a triple take. He'll make this interesting. He makes it very interesting, but he can't clutch up, as E36 will just about survive. Ninjas in Pajamas, another dud game for them. They will fall out earlier than they would have wanted to, but with the bubble down, E36 will be safe and will be able to reset here.
All the meanwhile, Zipline Mafia have played this perfectly. Not only were they helping out on damage and forcing those teams on the east to fight, but now they have taken center zone here. Their main worry is going to be Enter Force 36 right now. If they do take that engagement, they could be in a game-winning spot.
Oh, Trop gets the bubble down, but not before he falls down himself. It's KNC putting the pressure on. The Valcon from Noxy says, I'm out of here, boys. I'm going to try and get us a few placement points. Hover in the skies and see if I can find somewhere to land. It's KNC who will come out this one strongest, and a Kraber in the hands of Chappie.
I mean, smart play. You can definitely pick up 1 or 2 placement points depending on how you play this one going up into the sky. As there you go, there's your extra placement point just from falking up, because Aurora just got eliminated.
Aurora gone. As RRQ now look to get involved in some of these fights. S8UL only got one player on his feet. It's Jesco on the gibby. He falls to his knees and he falls back into the lobby screen, and RRQ take the zip line back down as they have to now worry about where the zone is going. Everybody is being forced towards his zone and there's barely anywhere to play.
RRQ are fighting so well together at the moment. Very difficult to try and compete with people that in sync, as Sentinels finally are going to have to move out. Blinks has gone down, and sadly, there's just too many teams looking at them.
This is really, really rough. So many teams are refusing to rotate to zone. They're just looking for KP. Possibly recognizing that it's going to be difficult for them to win this game, so they're trying to maximize those points through kills and taking the teams out around them. RRQ now with the Jibby bubble down on that low ground. KNC look across them. GK will be eliminated. VK will be eliminated as well, as we down to 7.
Down to 7. Zipline Mafia still dead center of this zone, as RRQ is still somehow alive on this southern side and actually forcing their way in. 1 remains on Sentinels, by the way. It's going to be behind RRQ here.
Raber, you peek. And Chappie will look to teach. Almost manages to take the skull off of one player. We're going to have to survive for now. Another fight going down. Over to his east. It's going to be involving... Look on your screen right now. Sentinel's just been eliminated in the meantime. Dogred will go down. It's KNC who are starting to pick up KP after KP from this high ground position. And Team Liquid might be next. Zipline Mafia now being contested themselves as WeQ on the Gibraltar has to spray with that R9 and has to try and clutch. Strafing Flame, he's down into 1v1. Pricey lost alive.
Last alive, you got the gibby, you got the bubble, you got the shotgun as well. Pricey slams him home. Zipline Mafia out. Team Liquid now, after dropping here, they can get very aggressive here, and it's a 2 versus 2.
It's a 3 versus 1. It's a 2 versus 1. It's a 1 versus 1. And Zero barely has any KP. Sight is trying to stick the knock. E36 looking to move up on this as well, as KNC takes to the sky just to try and survive and buy a little bit more time. Panic has found a little ledge to play and gets into the top 3 because of it.
Well, RRQ are watching all of this unfold, by the way, and it should just be a matter of patience at this point. Enter Force 36 is still alive, and then 1 remaining solo that's going to prove to be a thorn in the side of their chances of winning this game.
Easy Flash has got himself 5 kills in this game, so it's looking like a monster potential point tally for RRQ here. Panic still hasn't been spotted, by the way, and if he isn't spotted, there's a real chance he could win this one. If this 3v3 goes down and Panic does not get spotted, then all of a sudden Liquid have a chance.
If anyone can do it, it's Panic. We know how good he is in these engagements. RRQ taking a lot of damage. Need to hand over. You need someone who can help you with this damage now.
Pricey with a PK in his hand, the bubble goes down. Jizzler with a massive in his hand.
Where's Panic?
Strafing Flame. Jumping around, he gets chunked by the massive. 1, 2, 3 times. He's down as well. Panic's still alive. It's a 1v1. Panic does it for Liquid. The sneakiest of Valkyries finds a spot to play, and the young man comes up clutch for Liquid.